Credits. From zero to focused. The self-taught pro's roadmap to eliminating distractions, mastering deep work, and achieving a state of unbreakable concentration. By Gardinski. Introduction. The modern crisis of attention. You started the day with a clear objective. That one critical project, that single important task was at the top of your list. You sat down, coffee in hand, ready to make meaningful progress. Then it began. A notification for a new email. A buzz from a group chat. A headline on a news site that was too tempting to ignore. A quick scroll through social media. Just for a minute, that turned into 20. Before you knew it, 2 hours had vanished. You'd been busy, you'd clicked and typed and reacted, but you hadn't made a single inch of progress on what truly mattered. You were a hamster on a wheel, running furiously but going nowhere. If this scenario feels familiar, you're not alone. This is the default state of existence in the 21st century. We live in an age of unprecedented information access, but it has come at a catastrophic cost: the complete erosion of our ability to concentrate. This is not a personal failure. Your lack of focus is not a character flaw or a sign of weakness. It is the predictable, engineered result of a multi-trillion-dollar industry built with the sole purpose of capturing and monetizing your most valuable resource, your attention. You are living in a war zone, and your mind is the territory everyone is fighting to control. The world is divided into two groups: those who allow their attention to be commanded by the whims of algorithms and notifications, and those who command their own attention with deliberate, strategic systems. The first group is doomed to a life of shallow work, constant anxiety, and unrealized potential. The second group, the focus pros, are the ones who create, innovate, and build meaningful careers and lives. They produce value at a rate their distracted peers cannot comprehend. This book is the playbook for joining that second group. This is not a collection of life hacks or willpower tips. Willpower is a finite resource that is no match for a world designed to exhaust it. Instead, this is a roadmap for building a robust, resilient system for focus. It's an architectural blueprint for redesigning your mind, your environment, and your habits to make concentration the default state, not a constant struggle. We will begin by dissecting the enemy, understanding the mechanics of the attention economy, and the neurochemistry that makes us so susceptible to its pull. Then, we will build your defense system from the ground up, starting with your internal operating system, your mindset, and moving outward to engineer a physical and digital environment that serves your goals, not the goals of tech companies. Finally, we will install the high-performance protocols needed to sustain this state of unbreakable concentration for the long term. The ability to perform deep, focused work is becoming the superpower of this century. It is the one skill that cannot be easily automated or outsourced. By the end of this roadmap, you will no longer be a victim of the modern crisis of attention. You will be its master. You will be a self-taught pro of focus. Chapter 1: The Attention Economy. Why your focus is under attack. The first step in winning any war is to understand the enemy. Your battle for focus is not against a vague internal weakness. It is against a tangible, powerful, and incredibly sophisticated adversary. This adversary is called the attention economy. The core principle is simple. In a world of information abundance, the one truly scarce resource is human attention. Your eyeballs, your time, and your cognitive energy are the new oil. The largest and most profitable companies on the planet are not in the business of selling software, connecting people, or organizing information. They are in the business of harvesting your attention and selling it to the highest bidder, typically advertisers. Your distraction is their product. Every feature on every app, website, and platform is meticulously engineered with one goal in mind: to keep you engaged for as long as possible. They employ armies of behavioral psychologists, data scientists, and user experience designers to build features that are not just useful, but neurologically addictive. Let's examine the enemy's arsenal. Number 1, the infinite scroll. This is one of the most brilliant and insidious inventions for hijacking attention. By removing natural stopping points, like the bottom of a page, platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook create a seamless, endless flow of content. Your brain never gets the signal that it's time to stop, so you just keep scrolling, hunting for the next small dopamine hit. Number 2, the notification, the red dot, the ping, the buzz in your pocket. These are not helpful reminders. They are weapons of mass distraction. Each notification is a manufactured interruption designed to pull you out of your current context and back into their ecosystem. They create a state of perpetual attentional residue, where even after you dismiss the notification, a part of your brain is still thinking about it, fragmenting your cognitive capacity. Number 3, variable rewards. This is the slot machine effect, borrowed directly from the casinos of Las Vegas. When you pull down to refresh your feed or check your email, you don't know what you're going to get. It might be nothing, it might be a boring work email, or it might be that exciting message or viral video you were hoping for. This unpredictability floods your brain with dopamine and creates a powerful compulsion to check again and again. You're not using the app. The app is using your brain's reward circuitry against you. The true cost of this constant bombardment is far greater than just lost time. It's a fundamental rewiring of your brain. Your mind becomes conditioned to crave novelty and constant stimulation. It loses the muscle required for sustained, deep thought. This leads to shallow work, diminished creativity, and a persistent, low-grade anxiety from feeling perpetually behind and overwhelmed. The most critical mindset shift you must make is to stop blaming yourself. Your inability to focus is not a personal failing. It is the result of living inside a system designed to break your focus. You wouldn't blame a soldier for getting shot on a battlefield. It's time to stop blaming yourself for getting distracted in an environment engineered for that exact purpose. Your new identity is that of a strategic defender. Your focus is a valuable, sovereign asset. It is the raw material from which all your best work, deepest relationships, and greatest achievements are built. From this moment on, your job is not to try harder, but to build smarter defenses. You must treat your attention with the same seriousness you would your finances or your physical health. The first step is awareness. Acknowledge the forces aligned against you. See the notifications, the infinite scroll, and the clickbait for what they are: deliberate attacks on your cognitive sovereignty. Once you see the battlefield clearly, you can begin to architect your victory. Chapter 2: The Neurochemistry of Distraction, Dopamine, Multitasking, and the Myth of Productivity. If the attention economy is the external enemy, our own brain chemistry is the internal collaborator that lets the enemy through the gates. To build an effective defense, you need to understand how your brain is wired and how that wiring is being exploited. The battle for focus is fought and won on the field of neuroscience. At the center of it all is a powerful neurotransmitter, dopamine, often called the pleasure molecule. Its role is actually more nuanced. Dopamine is about motivation and reward-seeking behavior. It's the chemical that tells your brain, pay attention, this is important for survival and reward. In our evolutionary past, this was incredibly useful. A rustle in the bushes, a potential threat, or a potential meal would trigger a dopamine spike, sharpening our focus on that novel stimulus. The modern digital world has hijacked this ancient survival mechanism. Every notification, every like, and every new email is a digital rustle in the bushes. It signals novelty and potential reward, triggering a small dopamine hit. Your brain learns a simple, powerful loop: digital stimulus dash, dopamine release dash, temporary satisfaction dash, craving for more. This is the exact same pathway that fuels addiction to drugs and gambling. We have become a society of info addicts, constantly seeking our next tiny hit of digital stimulation. This constant dopamine-seeking behavior leads to the great myth of modern work: multitasking. When you believe you're multitasking, for example, writing a report while monitoring email and responding to instant messages, you are lying to yourself. The human brain cannot focus on more than one cognitively demanding task at a time. It's a neurological impossibility. What you're actually doing is context switching or rapidly toggling your attention between different tasks. Imagine a factory worker trying to assemble three different complex products on one assembly line, constantly switching between them every few seconds. The inefficiency would be staggering. Every time they switch, they have to put down one set of tools, pick up another, remember where they left off, and re-engage with a new task. This is precisely what happens in your brain. Each context switch incurs a cognitive cost. It takes time and mental energy to disengage from one task and load the context of the next one into your working memory. Studies have shown that this process can eat up to 40% of your productive time. It leads to more errors, higher stress levels, and a shallower level of thinking. You're not really working on multiple things, you're just doing a poor job on all of them sequentially. This leads to the critical distinction between two types of work. Number one, shallow work. These are low-value, logistical tasks that do not require intense, unbroken concentration. Answering routine emails, scheduling meetings, scrolling through a news feed. These tasks can be performed while distracted and, not coincidentally, create the illusion of being busy. Number two, deep work. These are high-value, cognitively demanding tasks that require a state of distraction-free concentration. Writing code, developing a business strategy, learning a new skill, creating art. This is the work that produces real value and advances your career. A brain conditioned by constant distraction and multitasking becomes incapable of the sustained attention required for deep work. It exists in a state of perpetual shallowness, always busy but rarely productive. The good news is that this is not a permanent condition. The brain's ability to change and adapt is known as neuroplasticity. Just as a brain can be trained for distraction, it can be retrained for focus. By consciously starving the dopamine loops that feed on distraction and deliberately practicing single tasking, you can physically rewire your brain. You can strengthen the neural pathways associated with sustained attention, making deep work easier and more natural over time. Your goal is to become the master of your own neurochemistry. You will learn to stop being a reactive slave to dopamine triggers and start becoming a deliberate architect of your mental state, creating the internal conditions necessary for profound, world-class focus. Chapter 3. The Four Pillars of Focus: Energy, Environment, Mindset, and Mission. Focus is not a single switch you can flip. It's not about finding one secret trick or magic app. A state of unbreakable concentration is like a well-built structure. It requires a strong, stable foundation. That foundation rests on four essential pillars. If any one of them is weak, the entire structure becomes unstable and prone to collapse. The self-taught pro understands that to achieve mastery and focus, they must systematically build, maintain, and reinforce these four pillars: energy, environment, mindset, and mission. Pillar 1. Energy, the fuel. Your brain is the most energy-intensive organ in your body, consuming about 20% of your total calories at rest. The act of deep, sustained concentration is a high-energy expenditure. You cannot achieve a focused state if you are running on empty. Willpower and mental stamina are not mystical forces. They are biological functions that depend on physical resources. Sleep. This is non-negotiable. During sleep, your brain clears out metabolic waste products and consolidates memories. Chronic sleep deprivation cripples your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for executive functions like planning, decision-making, and, most critically, impulse control. Without adequate sleep, you have zero chance of resisting distraction. Nutrition. Your brain runs on the fuel you provided. A diet high in processed foods and sugar leads to energy spikes and crashes, creating a volatile mental state that is hostile to focus. A diet rich in whole foods, healthy fats, and proteins provides the stable, long-lasting energy your brain needs to perform. Movement. Regular physical exercise increases blood flow to the brain, boosts the production of focus-enhancing neurochemicals, and reduces stress. It is one of the most powerful cognitive enhancers available. Pillar 2. Environment, the fortress. You cannot win a battle of willpower against an environment designed to make you fail. A focused professional does not rely on discipline alone. They proactively engineer their surroundings to make focus the path of least resistance. This applies to both your physical and digital spaces. Physical environment. Is your workspace cluttered and chaotic? Are you surrounded by potential interruptions? A true professional designs a fortress of solitude, a space dedicated to deep work, free from physical distractions. Digital environment. Your phone and computer are the primary gateways for distraction. A disorganized desktop, an inbox flooded with unread emails, and a phone buzzing with endless notifications create a digital environment that is toxic to concentration. You must systematically purge and control these inputs. Pillar 3. Mindset, the operating system. Your internal state, your beliefs, your mental habits, your ability to manage your thoughts is the software that runs on your brain's hardware. If your mental operating system is buggy and cluttered with malware, you will never operate at peak performance. Taming the monkey mind. Our minds have a natural tendency to wander. A core skill is learning to notice when your mind has drifted and gently, but firmly bring it back to the task at hand. Practices like mindfulness and meditation are not spiritual luxuries. They are fundamental training for your attention muscle. Embracing single tasking. You must fundamentally reject the myth of multitasking. This requires a conscious identity-level shift to believing that doing one thing at a time is the only path to true productivity. Strategic boredom. A mind that is never allowed to be bored loses its ability to generate its own stimulation. By embracing moments of empty time instead of immediately reaching for your phone, you train your brain to be comfortable with a lower level of stimulus, which is essential for deep work. Pillar 4. Mission, the compass. Why are you trying to focus in the first place? Without a clear, compelling answer to this question, any distraction will seem like a reasonable alternative. A powerful mission acts as a compass, guiding your decisions and making it easy to say no to things that don't align with your ultimate objective. Clarity of purpose. You must have a crystal clear understanding of your most important goals, both for the day and for the long term. What is the one thing that, if accomplished, would render everything else easier or unnecessary? The power of no. A clear mission gives you the justification to ruthlessly decline requests, ignore notifications, and shut out the noise. When you know what truly matters, the trivial things lose their power. These 4 pillars form the complete system for achieving and sustaining high-performance focus. The following sections of this book will provide the detailed blueprints for constructing each one, transforming you from a distracted amateur into a focused, unstoppable professional. Chapter 4. The Deep Work Ritual. Architecting your uninterrupted blocks of time. Professionals do not wait for inspiration to strike. They do not hope for a moment of focus to magically appear in their chaotic day. They build a system that makes deep, concentrated work an inevitable outcome. The cornerstone of this system is the deep work ritual. A ritual is a predefined sequence of actions performed in a consistent way to transition into a specific state. Its power lies in automation. By creating a ritual, you eliminate the need for willpower in the crucial moments before starting a difficult task. You're no longer debating with yourself whether you feel like working or what you should do first. The ritual takes over, signaling to your brain that it's time to enter the fortress of solitude and engage in high-value creation. Your ritual must be meticulously designed and ruthlessly defended. It consists of 4 key components. Number 1, the where, your sanctuary. You must have a specific location dedicated solely to deep work. This could be a home office, a particular chair at the library, or even a coffee shop with noise-canceling headphones. The key is consistency. When you enter this space, your brain must know, on a subconscious level, that it is time to focus and nothing else. This space must be optimized for concentration, clean, organized, and free from the temptations of shallow tasks. Your phone does not enter this sanctuary. Your social media feeds are not welcome here. Number 2, the when and how long, the time block. Deep work must be scheduled with the same sanctity as a meeting with your most important client. Look at your calendar and block out a specific, non-negotiable window of time. For most people, a 90 to 120-minute block is the sweet spot, aligning with the brain's natural ultradian rhythms of concentration. During this block, you are unavailable. You are not working from home. You are engaged in a closed-door, high-stakes cognitive performance. Number 3. The rules of engagement, your protocol. Before you begin, you must define the rules. How will you work? A common and powerful rule is zero internet connectivity. Disconnect from Wi-Fi or use an app that blocks distracting sites. What is the single, specific goal of this session? You must have a clear, measurable objective, such as write 1,000 words of the report or debug the user authentication module. Vague goals like work on the project invite distraction. Number 4. The support system, your fuel. What do you need to sustain the session? Have your coffee or water on your desk before you start. Have any necessary research materials printed or preloaded. The goal is to eliminate every possible excuse to get up and break your state of flow. Every time you stand up to get something, you risk shattering your concentration. A professional anticipates their needs and prepares accordingly. Your ritual could be simple. Every weekday at 8 a.m., go to your home office, turn off your phone, place it in another room, launch a site blocker, open your primary work document, and work for 90 minutes. Or it could be more complex, involving specific music, a short meditation, or a review of your goals. The exact steps matter less than their consistency. By creating and executing this ritual day after day, you are no longer relying on the fickle nature of motivation. You are building an industrial strength system for productivity. You are training your brain, like a Pavlovian dog, to associate a specific set of cues with a state of intense, valuable focus. Chapter 5. Taming the Monkey Mind. Mindfulness and meditation for a quieter brain. You can build the most impenetrable fortress, turn off every device and lock the door, but still fail to focus. Why? Because the most persistent source of distraction is not external, it is internal. It is the restless, chattering voice in your own head, often called the monkey mind. This is the part of your brain that jumps from a past regret to a future anxiety, from a random song lyric to a sudden urge to check your email, all within the span of a few seconds. For the untrained mind, this internal monologue is a constant, chaotic force that makes sustained concentration impossible. A true professional understands that they must train their mind with the same rigor they would train their body. The most effective tool for this training is mindfulness meditation. Forget any preconceived notions of mysticism or religion. Frame meditation as a purely practical, neurological workout. It is the act of performing a single rep for your attention muscle over and over again. Here is the exercise in its simplest form. Number 1. Set a timer. Start with just 5 minutes. Consistency is far more important than duration. Number 2. Sit and anchor. Sit in a comfortable position. You don't need a special cushion or posture. Simply close your eyes and bring your full attention to a single, neutral anchor point. The physical sensation of your breath, the air entering your nostrils, the rise and fall of your chest, is the most common and effective anchor. Number 3. The inevitable distraction. Within seconds, your monkey mind will activate. A thought, a sound, or a feeling will pull your attention away from the breath. This is not a failure. This is the opportunity to perform a rep. Number 4. The rep. The moment you notice that your mind has wandered is a moment of victory. In that instant, you have exercised your meta-awareness. Gently, and without judgment, you release the distraction and guide your focus back to the anchor of your breath. That's it. That is the entire workout. The act of noticing you're distracted and consciously returning your focus is the fundamental skill of concentration. Every time you do it, you're strengthening the neural pathways in your prefrontal cortex associated with executive control. You are literally rewiring your brain to be less reactive and more deliberate. Practicing this for just a few minutes each day has a profound carryover effect into your deep work blocks. When you are writing a report and a distracting thought like, did I remember to send that invoice, pops into your head, your trained mind will be better equipped to notice the distraction. Label it as thinking and gently return your focus to the report without getting emotionally hijacked. Another powerful tactic is thought capture. Keep the simple notepad next to you during your deep work sessions. When an unrelated but important thought arises, quickly jot it down on the pad. This act of parking the thought assures your brain that it won't be forgotten, freeing up your cognitive resources to immediately return to the primary task. You are acknowledging the monkey mind without letting it take over the conversation. Training your attention is not a one-time fix. It is an ongoing practice like physical fitness. By investing a few minutes each day in this mental conditioning, you build the internal stability required to stay on task when it matters most. Chapter 6: The Power of Single Tasking, Reclaiming Your Cognitive Horsepower. The modern workplace has sanctified the myth of multitasking. We are taught to believe that juggling multiple tasks, conversations, and projects simultaneously is a sign of productivity and importance. The opposite is true. Multitasking is the calling card of the amateur. The professional, the true master of their craft, operates on a principle of uncompromising single tasking. As we established earlier, multitasking is a neurological fiction. What you're actually doing is rapid, inefficient context switching. Every switch exacts a toll, a cognitive cost that drains your mental energy, introduces errors, and prevents you from ever achieving the state of flow required for breakthrough work. Reclaiming your focus requires an absolute, identity-level commitment to doing one thing at a time. This is not a suggestion. It is a core operational protocol for high-performance knowledge work. The system is simple to understand, but requires discipline to implement. One screen, one task. When you're engaged in a deep work block, the only application visible on your computer screen should be the one directly required for the task at hand. If you are writing, the only thing open is your word processor, preferably in a full screen or distraction-free mode that hides menus and toolbars. Your email client is closed. Your web browser is closed. Your team chat application is closed. If you're coding, your code editor is open. The browser might be open if you're actively looking up documentation for a specific problem, but is not on a news site or social media feed. If you're designing, your design software is the only thing on the screen. This protocol requires you to fight the urge for productive procrastination, the temptation to toggle over to your email for a quick check, telling yourself it's still work. Every toggle, no matter how brief, shatters your concentration and forces your brain to pay the context switching tax. To enforce this, you must adopt a complementary protocol: batching. Batching is the antidote to the constant stream of shallow work. Instead of allowing your day to be fragmented by random inputs, you group similar tasks together and execute them in dedicated, scheduled blocks. Email processing. Do not check email as it arrives. This is allowing others to dictate your attention. Instead, schedule 2 or 3 specific times per day, e.g., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m., to process your inbox. Open your email, deal with everything, and then close it completely. Outside of these blocks, your email client does not exist. Communications. Treat your team chat app like email. Schedule specific blocks for checking and responding to messages. Set a status that clearly communicates you are in a deep work block and will be unavailable until a specific time. Meetings. Group meetings together to avoid having them scattered throughout the day, which creates small, unusable pockets of time between them. By committing to single tasking and batching, you are fundamentally redesigning your workday. You are creating large, contiguous, and fiercely protected blocks of time for high-value deep work. You are reclaiming the massive percentage of your cognitive horsepower that was previously being squandered on the friction of context switching. Your output will not only increase in quantity, it will undergo a quantum leap in quality. Chapter 7: Strategic Boredom. How embracing emptiness supercharges your creativity. Your brain has been trained to fear emptiness. In every spare moment, waiting in line, sitting in traffic, walking to the kitchen, the default impulse is to reach for your phone. You fill the void with a podcast, a social media feed, or a news headline. This constant stream of low-grade input is a cognitive sedative. It pacifies your mind, but also starves it of one of its most essential nutrients, boredom. A mind that is never bored is a mind that never has to think for itself. It becomes dependent on external stimulation, losing its ability to generate novel ideas, solve complex problems, and engage in deep self-reflection. When you are constantly consuming, you are never processing. Strategic boredom is the deliberate practice of allowing your mind to be unoccupied. It's about creating space for your brain's default mode network to activate. This is the neural state associated with daydreaming, memory consolidation, and creative insight. It's in these moments of unstructured quiet that your subconscious mind gets to work, connecting disparate ideas and surfacing the solutions that elude you during periods of intense, focused effort. The professional does not view boredom as a problem to be solved with a device. They view it as a strategic tool for cognitive enhancement. Here is the protocol for reintroducing this essential practice into your life. Number 1. Embrace micro-boredom. Start small. The next time you're waiting for an elevator or for your coffee to brew, do nothing. Don't pull out your phone. Simply stand there. Observe your surroundings. Let your mind wander where it will. These small, 30-second gaps are your training ground. Number 2. Go analog. Dedicate specific activities to be device-free zones. Take a walk without headphones. Listen to the sounds of your environment. Let your thoughts be your only companion. Drive your commute in silence. Eat a meal without a screen in front of you. Number 3. Schedule do-nothing time. It may sound absurd in our hyperproductive culture, but scheduling 5 or 10 minutes to simply sit in a chair and stare out the window can be one of the most productive things you do. It's a reset button for your brain, allowing it to clear the attentional residue from previous tasks. Number 4. Keep a capture tool nearby. When you allow your mind to wander, brilliant ideas will often surface unexpectedly. This is the default mode network delivering its payload. Always have a simple analog tool like a pocket notebook nearby to capture these thoughts without having to unlock a distracting device. By deliberately cultivating moments of boredom, you are lowering your brain's baseline need for stimulation. This makes the transition into the low-stimulus environment of deep work far less jarring. You're not just building your capacity for creativity and insight, you are conditioning your mind to be comfortable and effective in the very state of quiet focus that high-value work demands. Chapter 8. The Digital Declutter, a systematic purge of your devices and apps. Your digital environment is the primary battlefield in the war for your attention. By default, it is a space engineered by others for their own profit, littered with triggers, notifications, and endless rabbit holes. A focused professional rejects this default. They seize control and transform their digital tools from masters into servants. This is achieved through a systematic and ruthless process of digital decluttering. This is not a gentle tidying up. This is a controlled demolition and a deliberate reconstruction. The goal is to create an environment where the path of least resistance leads to focused work, not to mindless distraction. Phase 1. The smartphone lockdown. Your phone is the most potent distraction device ever invented. It must be neutralized. Number 1. The Great Deletion. Go through every app on your phone. If it is a source of shallow, reactive engagement, social media, news aggregators, games, delete it. Be merciless. You can access these services through a web browser on your computer if absolutely necessary, which introduces a crucial layer of friction. Number 2. Notification tyranny ends now. Go into your phone settings and turn off every single notification. No sounds, no banners, no red badges on the icons. The only exceptions might be phone calls and text messages from your absolute closest contacts, e.g., your partner or children, configured via a favorites feature. You will check apps on your schedule, not on theirs. Number 3. Sanitize the home screen. Move every remaining app off your main home screen and into a single folder on the second page. Your primary screen should be blank, containing only the most essential, non-distracting utilities like the clock or calendar. The goal is to break the muscle memory of automatically tapping on an icon. Number 4. Go grayscale. In your accessibility settings, turn your screen to grayscale. This strips the bright, alluring colors from app icons that are designed to trigger a dopamine response in your brain. A gray, boring phone is a tool. A colorful phone is a toy. Phase 2. The desktop triage. Your computer is your primary creation engine. It must be optimized for production, not consumption. Number 1. A clean workspace. Your desktop is not a storage folder. Remove every single file in Shortcut. Create a simple, logical folder system inside your Documents folder, e.g., _inbox, _projects, _archive, and place everything there. A clean desktop is a signal to your brain that it's time for a clean, focused start. Number 2. Application amnesty. Uninstall any software you haven't used in the past 90 days. It creates mental and digital clutter. Number 3. Tame the browser. Your web browser is a powerful tool and a dangerous distraction. Install a robust site blocker and proactively block all your known time-wasting sites. Remove distracting bookmarks from your toolbar. Set your home page to a blank page, about, blank, or a simple personal dashboard. Number 4. Separate your tools. If possible, use different browsers or browser profiles for different types of work. One profile could be for deep work with only essential extensions enabled, while another could be for personal use. This creates a digital separation of church and state. This digital declutter is not a one-time event. It is a new philosophy. You must become the ruthless gatekeeper of your digital spaces, constantly asking of every app, notification, and file, does this directly serve my deepest goals, or is it a source of distraction? You are the architect, and every element in your digital world must be there by your explicit, deliberate choice. Chapter 9. The Fortress of Solitude. Designing your physical workspace for peak concentration. Your ability to enter a state of deep work is profoundly influenced by your physical surroundings. A cluttered, chaotic, and interruption-prone environment is a constant, low-level drain on your cognitive resources. To achieve elite-level focus, you must consciously design a physical workspace that acts as a fortress of solitude, a sanctuary engineered exclusively for concentration. This is not about having a fancy office. It's about applying strategic principles to whatever space you have, whether it's a dedicated room, a corner of your bedroom, or a table at the library. The goal is to create powerful psychological cues that tell your brain, when I am in this space, I do one thing. I focus. Principle 1. A dedicated space. Your brain forms powerful associations between locations and activities. If you work from the same couch where you watch movies and eat dinner, you are sending conflicting signals to your mind. You must designate a specific spot, a particular desk and chair, that is used only for deep work. When you sit down, it's a physical trigger to begin your focus ritual. When you leave, the work is left behind. This boundary is crucial for both focus and relaxation. Principle 2. Optimize for flow, not for comfort. Your fortress should be functional, not cozy. Clear surfaces. The only objects on your desk should be the essential tools for the task at hand. Your computer, a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, and a notebook for capturing ideas. Everything else, piles of paper, books, random gadgets, is a potential distraction. Put it away. A clear desk promotes clear thinking. Ergonomics are essential. Focus is a physical act. An uncomfortable chair, a monitor at the wrong height, or poor lighting creates physical friction that slowly chips away at your ability to concentrate. Invest in a good chair and position your monitor so the top is at or just below eye level. This isn't a luxury, it's a professional requirement. Face a wall. If possible, position your desk to face a blank wall rather than a window or a high-traffic area in your home. This minimizes the number of random visual stimuli that can pull you out of your flow state. Principle 3. a barrier against interruption. Your fortress must be defensible. The do not disturb signal. The most powerful tool in your arsenal is a pair of noise-canceling headphones. Even if you aren't listening to anything, they are a universal visual cue to family members or colleagues that you are in a lockdown focus session and are not to be disturbed. Create physical distance from distractions. Your smartphone, the primary saboteur of focus, should not be in the same room as your fortress of solitude. Charge it in the kitchen or the bedroom. The small amount of physical friction required to go and get it is often enough to defeat the mindless impulse to check it. Set clear boundaries. Communicate your deep work schedule to the people you live or work with. Let them know that during these specific, pre-scheduled blocks, you are completely unavailable barring a true emergency. Your physical environment is not a passive backdrop. It is an active participant in your work. By deliberately engineering it to support your goals, you are offloading the work of maintaining focus from your finite willpower to your well-designed surroundings. You are making concentration the default, easy path. Chapter 10. Managing Inbound. Systems for controlling email, messages, and notifications. You have built your fortress and decluttered your digital tools. Now you must defend the perimeter. The greatest threat to your focus is the constant barrage of inbound communication, emails, instant messages, and notifications. These are not merely distractions. They're the agendas of other people injected directly into your consciousness. A professional does not operate in a state of constant reaction. They build a robust system to manage these inputs on their own terms. The default mode is reactive. You leave your email open in a background tab. You allow desktop notifications for your chat app. You work with one eye constantly on your inbox, waiting for the next thing to arrive. This is the blueprint for a career of shallow, fragmented work. The professional mode is proactive. You must make a fundamental mindset shift. Communication tools are to be opened and processed in scheduled batches, then closed. Their default state is off. The email processing protocol. Your inbox is not your to-do list. It is a processing tray. The goal is not to check email. It is to process it to zero in swift, decisive bursts. Number 1. Schedule the batch. Select 2, or at most 3, specific times per day to process email. A good starting point is 10:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Put these times on your calendar. Number 2. Execute to zero. When your scheduled time arrives, open your email client with a single objective: empty the inbox. For every single message, you must make a decision using a simple system like the 4Ds: do, delegate, defer, or delete. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. If it's not for you, delegate it. If it requires more work, defer it to your task system. The rest should be deleted or archived. Number 3. Close the client. Once the inbox is empty, close the application completely. Do not leave it running in the background. This is the most critical step. It severs the connection and allows you to return to deep work with your full attention. The instant message containment system. Instant messaging applications are even more dangerous than email because they create a cultural expectation of immediacy. You must aggressively dismantle this expectation. Number 1. Kill all notifications. Go into the app settings and disable every single banner, sound, and badge notification. You will check the app on your schedule, not its. Number 2. Status as a shield. Your status is not for decoration. It is a strategic communication tool. Use it to broadcast your availability. Proactively manage the expectations of your colleagues. Number 3. Batch your responses. Treat the chat app just like email. Open it during your scheduled communication blocks, respond to everything that needs a response, and then quit the application. By implementing these systems, you are making a radical declaration. My focus is my priority. Your agenda will be addressed, but it will be addressed at a time of my choosing, in a way that preserves my ability to create high-value work. You are shifting from being a network router, frantically passing along packets of information, to being a deep, thoughtful processor. Chapter 11. Setting social contracts. How to train people to respect your time. You can have the most perfect focus system in the world, a pristine digital environment, a well-designed fortress of solitude, and a batch processing protocol for all communication. But it will collapse if it exists in a vacuum. Your focus is not just a personal discipline. It is a resource that must be defended through clear communication and well-defined boundaries with the people around you. You must establish social contracts that train others on how to interact with you. This is not about being difficult or uncooperative. It is about being a clear and effective professional who respects their own time and the company's most valuable outcomes. People cannot respect boundaries they do not know exist. The workplace contract. Your colleagues are likely operating in the default reactive mode. You must guide them toward a new way of engaging with you. Number 1. Communicate your how. Have a direct, transparent conversation with your manager and your team. Frame your system as a strategy for increasing your productivity and quality of work. Say, to ensure I can deliver my best work on Project X, I'm going to be dedicating a deep work block every morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. During that time, I will be offline from chat and email, but I'll be fully available immediately after. Number 2, establish an urgency protocol. People often default to the most immediate channel for all communication. Give them a clear decision-making framework. For example, if the building is on fire, call my cell phone. If it's an urgent problem that is blocking your work right now, send me a direct message. For everything else, email is best. Number 3, set office hours. If you're in a leadership position or are frequently asked for help, block out specific times on your calendar labeled office hours, open for questions. This contains ad hoc interruptions within a defined container, protecting the rest of your schedule. The client and external partner contract. External stakeholders can be a major source of focus-shattering demands. Manage their expectations from day one. Number 1, onboard them to your process. At the beginning of any new project or engagement, clearly state your communication policies. Our team is committed to focused work. We respond to all emails within 24 hours. For anything requiring an immediate response, please call our project lead directly. Number 2, use strategic autoresponders. Your email autoresponder is a powerful expectation setting tool. It can be used outside of vacations. A simple message immediately recalibrates the sender's expectation of an instant reply. The home contract. For those who work from home, the lines are often blurred. A clear contract with family or roommates is non-negotiable. Number 1, the closed door is sacred. The single most important rule is that a closed office door means I am in a deep work session and cannot be disturbed unless it is a true emergency. This rule must be established, explained, and consistently enforced. Number 2, broadcast your schedule. Make your deep work blocks visible. A small whiteboard on the outside of your office door with focus block, 9 to 10:30, written on it can work wonders. Setting these contracts may feel uncomfortable at first, but they are an act of professional leadership. You're teaching the people around you that focus is valuable, and in doing so, you give them permission to value their own. Chapter 12, the focus sprint. Using time boxing and the Pomodoro technique to maintain intensity. Sustained concentration is a cognitively demanding activity. Like sprinting, you cannot do it at maximum intensity for hours on end without a structured approach. Attempting to simply focus for a 4-hour block is a recipe for burnout and diminishing returns. The professional understands that focus is not just about blocking out time. It's about managing energy and intensity within that time. This is accomplished through the use of focus sprints. The principle is simple: intense, deliberate work in short, defined bursts, punctuated by mandatory periods of rest. This rhythm allows you to maintain a high level of performance while preventing the mental fatigue that leads to distraction and poor quality work. The Pomodoro technique, the classic framework. Developed by Francesco Cirillo, the Pomodoro technique is a powerful and deceptively simple system for structuring your sprints. Number 1, select one task. You must have a single, clearly defined objective for the sprint. Number 2, set a timer for 25 minutes. This fixed, short interval is called one Pomodoro. Number 3, work with 100% focus. For those 25 minutes, you do nothing but the selected task. No email checks, no phone glances, no side tasking. If an unrelated thought pops into your head, jot it down on a notepad and immediately return to the task. Number 4, take a mandatory 5-minute break. When the timer rings, you must stop. Get up, stretch, walk around, get a glass of water, or look out the window. Critically, this break must be away from screen. Do not use it to check messages. This is non-negotiable. The break is when your brain recharges. Number 5, repeat and take a longer break. After completing 4 Pomodoros, take a longer, more substantial break of 15 to 30 minutes. The Pomodoro technique works because it breaks daunting tasks into manageable intervals, creates a sense of psychological urgency, and forces you to take the recovery periods your brain needs to maintain high cognitive function. Time boxing, the flexible alternative. Time boxing is a broader concept where you allocate a fixed period of time, a time box, to a specific activity in advance. Your calendar becomes your plan for execution. Instead of a to-do list with a vague item like work on report, your calendar has a specific block from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. labeled Draft Chapter 1 of Q3 Report. During that 90-minute time box, that is the only thing you do. When the time is up, you stop, even if it's not perfect. This technique is incredibly effective at defeating procrastination and perfectionism. Integrating sprints into your deep work ritual. These sprint techniques are not a replacement for your larger deep work blocks. They're the engine that powers them. A 90-minute deep work ritual can be structured as 3 25-minute Pomodoros with 2 5-minute breaks in between. This provides a rhythm that sustains your energy and makes the entire 90-minute block feel less intimidating and more productive. By adopting a sprint-based approach, you're training your focus like a muscle. You are applying intense stress followed by recovery, which is the proven formula for growth in any biological system. You stop relying on willpower to grind through the hours and start using a strategic system to manage your most precious resource, your energy. Chapter 13, Beyond Willpower, Building Identity-Based Habits for Automatic Focus. Willpower is a finite resource. Relying on it to consistently resist distraction in a world designed for distraction is a losing strategy. It's like trying to hold back a flood with a single sandbag. Sooner or later, you will be overwhelmed. The true professional knows that the ultimate goal is not to have stronger willpower, but to need less of it. This is achieved by building habits that make focus the automatic default behavior. The most powerful way to build a habit that sticks is to tie it to your identity. Most people try to change their behavior first. They say, I want to be more focused, so I will try to use the Pomodoro technique. This is a fragile approach. When motivation wanes, the behavior stops. The identity-based approach flips the script. You start with the person you want to become. You don't just try to focus. You decide to be a focused person. The core question shifts from, what do I want to achieve, to who do I want to be? Your new identity is the focused professional. Now, every action is a vote cast in favor of that identity. Every small decision becomes an opportunity to reinforce who you are. A distracted person checks their phone every 5 minutes. A focused professional puts their phone in another room during a work block. An amateur leaves their email open all day. A focused professional processes email in scheduled batches. A reactive person lets their calendar be controlled by others. A focused professional schedules their deep work blocks first and protects them ruthlessly. Each time you perform one of these actions, you are not just completing a task. You are offering yourself tangible proof of your new identity. This is what a focused person does, and I am doing it. Therefore, I am a focused person. This creates a powerful positive feedback loop. The more you act the part, the more you believe the identity. The more you believe the identity, the more naturally you perform the actions. Here is the protocol for installing this new identity. Number 1, define it, write it down. I'm a professional who values deep, concentrated work. My focus is my most valuable asset, and I protect it as such. I am the architect of my attention. Number 2, start with small, undeniable proof. Do not try to change everything at once. Pick one small, easy habit that aligns with your new identity. For example, for the next week, I will work through one 25-minute Pomodoro sprint without interruption each morning. This is a small win, an easy vote to cast. Number 3. Track your votes. Keep a simple habit tracker or journal. At the end of each day, mark whether you cast your vote for your new identity. This isn't about creating a streak to feel guilty about breaking. It's about making your progress visible and celebrating the accumulation of evidence. Number 4. Upgrade your environment to match. A focused professional has a clean desk. Clean your desk. A focused professional has a decluttered phone. Declutter your phone. Your environment should constantly reflect and reinforce the identity you are building. Over time, these conscious choices become unconscious habits. You will no longer need to summon willpower to ignore a notification because your system of turning them off will be automatic. You won't have to decide to single task. It will simply be how you work. You have transcended the need for moment-to-moment discipline by hardwiring the desired behaviors into your identity, creating a system for automatic focus. Chapter 14. Rest, Recovery, and Renewal. Why unplugging is the key to staying sharp. Our culture glorifies the grind. We are taught that success comes from relentless, nonstop work. More hours, more hustle, more effort. This is a deeply flawed and unsustainable model for cognitive performance. A knowledge worker is not a factory machine. Your brain is a biological organ with finite energy and a fundamental need for rest and recovery. Pushing it past its limits does not lead to better results. It leads to burnout, diminished creativity, and a catastrophic loss of focus. The truly focused professional understands a critical paradox. The ability to work intensely is directly proportional to the ability to rest completely. Rest is not the opposite of work. It is an essential part of the work cycle itself. Your focus system is incomplete without a robust protocol for recovery. This means more than just getting enough sleep. It means building deliberate practices of renewal into your daily and weekly rhythms. The daily shutdown ritual. The workday should have a clear, definitive end. Without a boundary, work tends to bleed into your personal time, leaving your brain in a perpetual state of low-grade engagement, never fully working and never fully resting. The shutdown ritual is the bookend to your deep work ritual. Number 1. Final review. At a set time each day, conduct a quick review of your tasks and emails to ensure nothing critical is left undone. Number 2. Plan tomorrow. Decide on your most important tasks for the next day. This act of planning removes the anxiety of the unknown and allows your subconscious mind to start working on solutions overnight. Number 3. The verbal shutdown. Say a specific phrase out loud, such as "shut down complete." This may feel silly, but it is a powerful psychological trigger that tells your brain the workday is officially over and it is safe to disengage. Number 4. Disconnect. After the shutdown is complete, you do not check work email. You do not engage in work-related chat. You are done. The weekly digital Sabbath. Your brain needs regular periods of freedom from the constant stimulation of screens. A digital Sabbath is a scheduled block of time, typically 24 hours each week, where you abstain from all non-essential technology. No social media, no news, no email, no mindless browsing. This practice has a profound restorative effect. It allows your attention to reset, reduces anxiety, and fosters a deeper connection with the physical world and the people around you. It allows for the return of strategic boredom, creating space for creativity and self-reflection. Embrace high-quality leisure. Rest is not just the absence of work. It's the presence of restorative activity. Passively scrolling through social media or binge-watching television is low-quality leisure. It doesn't replenish your cognitive resources. It just continues the cycle of shallow consumption. High-quality leisure involves active, engaging, and often skill-based activities that are completely different from your work. This could be playing a musical instrument, engaging in a sport, working with your hands on a craft, or spending time in nature. These activities are restorative precisely because they engage your brain in a different way, allowing the parts responsible for deep work to fully recover. The amateur fears rest, seeing it as laziness. The professional schedules and protects rest, knowing it is the source of their strength. To sustain world-class focus, you must embrace renewal as a core discipline. Conclusion: the focused life, from reactive cog to deliberate architect. The great myth of the modern age, is that focus is a matter of willpower. We are told that if we just tried harder, were more disciplined, or found the right productivity hack, we could conquer distraction. We blame ourselves for our inability to concentrate, believing it to be a personal character flaw, a sign of weakness in a world that demands superhuman attention. This is a lie designed to keep you running on a hamster wheel of busy work, forever feeling inadequate. The summary: focus is not a trait you are born with. It is a system you build. It is an architecture of habits and routines, engineered to make concentration the path of least resistance. We have laid out the complete blueprint. It begins with the 4 pillars: the energy of a well-cared-for body and mind, the environment of a fortress built to repel distraction, the mindset of a trained and single-tasking professional, and a mission that provides a clear and unwavering compass. Upon this foundation, we constructed the operational protocols: the deep work ritual to make starting automatic, the digital declutter to reclaim your tools, the batch processing of inbound communication to control your time, the focus sprints to manage your energy, and the non-negotiable practice of rest and renewal to sustain performance for the long term. The identity: you're no longer a reactive cog in the attention economy, pulled in 100 directions by the agendas of others. You have completed the roadmap. You have the playbook. Your new identity is that of the deliberate architect. You do not hope for focus. You design the conditions for it. You are the sovereign ruler of your own mind, the gatekeeper of your attention, and a master of your time. You are a professional who produces high-value work with calm, collected, and unstoppable intensity. The command: your journey does not end with the final page of this book. It begins now. The knowledge is worthless without execution. Your prime directive is to move from theory to action. Do not try to implement everything at once. Choose one protocol from this blueprint: the digital declutter, the email batch, the first Pomodoro sprint, and execute it today. Build one brick of your fortress. Cast one vote for your new identity. The power to reclaim your focus, to produce work that matters, and to live a life of deliberate intention is not something to be wished for. It is something to be built. Start building. Did this roadmap help you? Your journey is just beginning, but your feedback is crucial. If this book provided you with real-world value, the single best way to support this mission is to leave an honest review on Amazon. Your review helps other ambitious, self-taught pros find the tools they need to bypass the gatekeepers and build the career they deserve. Thank you for being part of the community. More by Gardinski. Your roadmap continues. You've learned how to control your attention. Now build the underlying system of habits that makes focus automatic and apply it to a world-class productivity framework. From zero to disciplined. Master the architecture of habit formation to build the unbreakable routines that make deep work a default state, not a daily struggle. From zero to productive. Apply your newfound focus to a system for organizing your tasks, architecting your calendar, and achieving a state of stress-free productivity.